All right. Hello, everybody. I'm Sean, and welcome to another episode of Just Make the Thing. Thanks for joining in live. If you remember, I left last night on kind of a cliffhanger. Hello there, a little bit of sunshine. Welcome back to another episode. Thanks for joining in live. Really appreciate that. So if you remember last night, I was talking about how I wanted to see if Unity AI could make a game, and yeah, I mean, I won't say it's perfect. It's definitely not perfect, but it's something. I mean, this is all done by AI. Look at this. I mean, that is 100% done by AI. I didn't touch a darn thing manually in this. I didn't do anything where I told it exactly everything to do. I just said a couple prompts. I said, let's go back through the prompt history because I'm curious what all I said. Let's see if it loads here. It's going to take a minute. It's got to get everything back up and running. So just give it a minute here, and then we'll talk about what all happened here. So yesterday, we talked about how it built an open world RPG inspired by Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. That was my one prompt to start this whole thing. And it spent some time building out some seriously good mechanics. If you didn't watch that last night and you're joining in live for the first time tonight, I highly recommend, or you're watching this video later on YouTube or X or on Kick, I highly recommend that you watch it and check out last night's stream because it's pretty cool seeing how Unity AI is working. And I made a good analogy. I think it's a good analogy anyway, not to toot my own horn, but if you have a dinghy and you have a man of war ship, I mean, that's the difference between somebody who's using AI in 2026 and somebody who's not. I mean, people will hate on it. People will hate on AI every day of the week right now. But at the same time, what it's capable of doing for a single one-person team, one-man show, like, it's insane what you can do. And if you have a team of 10 and you're using AI, I mean, you could probably, as Tim Sweeney said, you could probably build the next Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild for real. So then the next thing I told it, I said, just simple. Next system I want you to work on is combat. Let's give them a sword and an enemy to fight. And then it went to town, and I used Unity Ultra, and I used plan mode, and I put it to work. I said, let's go ahead and see what you can do. And then it went to town, and then I said, okay, go find some better assets and make the game look nicer. Can you do that? Make it actually look like an RPG with an animated rigged character. You know, maybe this one was the one I did plan mode. I can't remember. But if you watch the video I made last night, you'll see what I mean. But one of these, I said plan mode, and I set it to Unity Ultra. I think maybe it was this one. Because this was pretty complex. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was this one. So, and then it just went to town. Yeah, this was it. Because it says before I write a plan. So it was making the plan, and then it went and it did it. And, I mean, it went through and made everything. And here's another thing. Here's something that you should keep in mind. These are, they should be placeholders. If you are using, if you're building a game and you're building something that is for people to play in the end, I think that this is an important part. Generations may be subject to copyright, and that's because AI art is not, it's not original. Like, every piece of AI art comes from somebody else's work, right? If you start off with a piece of AI art, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So you have a placeholder. And if you use AI art and it starts off that way, and then you can go ahead and tweak it to make it your own and make it look very unique. It shouldn't look like it's a copy of something else. Then I think that use it, you know, it's there, it's a tool, just like anything else. You know, I'm sure that people, whenever light bulbs became a thing and people were used to having gas lanterns, they were like, oh, I'm not going to switch over to those new fancy light bulbs. You know what I mean? So it's like, you gotta rock and roll with the changes or get left behind. That's the way it goes. I mean, that's just frankly that's my thought on the matter. Anyway, let's see what else I can do. Let's put it in play mode first so that I can show you what all it did. I think that's probably the most important thing to see here. All right, so you can see some problems here. I mean, we got this guy. He's running around. He's not even really moving. He's just standing still. He just is in like a T pose here, or what? Like he got his hands down to his side. I don't even know what this is. Well, he can climb, kind of. But again, this is all 100% done by AI. Like this is not done by me. I didn't do it. The sword obviously has some issues. We got it like floating in space. Let's see if I can just run right through the trees and through the rocks. Okay. So that's obviously a problem. Yeah, I mean, I think that it's pretty clearly established that this wouldn't work. Like, for real. But, yeah, look at this. He can't even, like, scale this. Like, it's like when you play Skyrim and you do the zigzag up the mountain so that way you can get through. If you know, you know, right? So you got to do the zigzag, right? So that way you can get up the mountain because of the way that the terrain's built inside of Skyrim. But let's take the experiment to the next step. Let's see how in-depth we can get before we run out of credits. So I have 862 out of 1,000 credits. So last night did not use that many credits. It used about, what, 140 credits? That's pretty impressive for an AI model to do that. I mean, it did not take that much. A little bit less than 140 credits. So I am thoroughly impressed with the fact that this managed to do this, because if I were to do the same thing with something like Claude Code, I would be eating through my budget right now. I'm sure Unity's probably going to raise their prices. I'm sure that they're going to do some more stuff here that it's going to cause things to be, you know, this is new to them. They want to get buy-in. They want to get people interested. You know, $10 a month is not much money to ask, right? And I'm still in the trial, so I've only got 1,000, but I think you get even more if you're in the actual paid version. So let's take it to the next step. Let's say Unity Ultra. Let's say plan. Let's say, what do we want to work on first? So the goal is to get systems working first. Let's say animations aren't working correctly for the player character model. And, oh yeah, we should say animations. We should say rigging and animations. Rigging and animations aren't working correctly for the player character model, and also for the enemy NPC model. The enemy NPC also still has the, and I'm going to go over here so I can remember what these are called. They're called pillboxes, I'm pretty sure, or capsules. Capsule. The enemy NPC still also has the pink placeholder capsule attached to it. And it makes it not look very good. The next thing, the next system I want you to fix is making the rigging and animations work for both of these. And let's see what happens. Now, rigging and animating is not an easy thing to do. In fact, I've been learning Blender for about, I think, 8 months now, maybe 9 months, something like that. And I still don't know how to do rigging and animation. I only know how to do sculpting and modeling, and I know a little bit about textures, and I know a little bit about render. I know how to render, but I don't know how to do animation and rigging yet. And I think that, and part of that is just because like I haven't spent the time to learn it yet. I'm just not there yet in my learning journey. But the fact is that if an AI can do rigging and animation, which is a relatively complex task, that's really impressive. I mean, that's insane. Also, let me see if I can pull up a new window here, because I want to show you all something really crazy. And I'm sure a lot of the game dev community here probably knows about this already. But let's go to 3D game asset AI. And I can't remember what it's called. Meshy, that's it. Meshy AI. So, yeah, these guys had a pretty big presence at one of the big conferences recently. I don't remember what the conference was, but they had a big line, and I'm pretty sure it was Blender Guru who mentioned this on X. And I mean, you could literally, you don't want to learn 3D modeling, and this time you don't really have to anymore. I mean, it's crazy. No, I'm wrong. I want to step back here for a second and caveat what I'm saying here. You should learn how to do these things. It is an awesome skill to have. But let's say your cup of tea is programming, and you're a really good programmer, and you're like, oh, I can program the crap out of anything. I can spend all day long programming systems, and I can make things like, I can make an amazing combat system, and I can make player character behavior work this way. Well, you have a huge leg up on me then, because I don't have hardly any experience in that realm of things. But somebody like me, who's more on the art side of things and less on the programming side of things, you can come in here and you could just create your own stuff. I mean, like, that's crazy to think about. Like, let's just take a look at some of the things that people have made. Community spotlight. Look, they got stuff going on for all the soccer stuff going on here. Well, like, look at this. Somebody literally, like, probably is making a video game, and they're like, hey, I want this cool looking character. Looks like Thorin Oakenshield from the Hobbit. Like, of course it's not perfect. I mean, look at the eyes. The eyes are certainly not, like, come on now. Like, you can definitely do better than that if you hand sculpted this. But, like, look at the geometry. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, can you do, like, look at the wireframe. Look at that. And can you turn off? I mean, the amount of detail. You could literally get this. You could get this model. You could just say, to hell with the actual painting and the texturing. I'll just take the model itself. It's like if you go out to, like, a game store and you're going to buy a D&D character, and you're going to say, I'm going to get my D&D character. This was one that was made. And I'm just going to take him, and I'm going to say, cool, I'm going to just paint him myself. And you could literally just spend time painting him and making him look like a badass. I mean, if you're playing an RPG and you could spend the time, like, rigging and modeling this. Now, granted, I don't know how you're going to get the armpits and stuff right. There's probably a way to do that on Meshy, where you can actually spend time rigging it. And yeah, look at that 3D animation. Rig and animate humanoid and quadruped characters. Like, seriously, that's absolutely insane. You could literally just take your character that you make and say, I want him rigged up, and see how he looks. Like, mind-blowing. Absolutely mind-blowing. And people will hate on this. People will hate on this all day. They'll be like, this isn't real stuff. But, like, I hate to tell you, but, like, this right here is what a lot of people are going to be doing. A lot of people are going to be they're going to go on Meshy and they're going to make their stuff here. Like, this is what's going to happen in the future. The video games you buy, they're going to be going out on Meshy because they don't have all the time in the world. They don't have the budgets to do it, and they're going to make their stuff. And I saw somebody join live right now, so I'm just going to mention, like, I don't necessarily agree with using things like Meshy, but I will say that you're going to see a lot more of it, you know? Like, if you're doing a prototype and you want to just get something in place, while you're building, and you don't have the time to sit there. Like if you're 1-person team, 2-person team, 3-person team, and you're literally just like, I only have, you know, 2-3 hours a day to go ahead and hop in here and do something. I mean, if this helps you out, I say more power to you, you know? I think you should. I think you should do it, you know? I just think that to not use it is to chop your nose off to spite your face. You know, you got to do it. You got to get in here and actually play around, and it's going to change everything. It already has. I mean, I'm sure lots of video game makers right now, everybody, game developers, they're going in here and they're doing it right now. So me, I personally will continue to use Blender and just make my own stuff. And I mean, I could use these for placeholders, right? But like, I do think that like I want to have real actual assets that I make. But hey, it's gonna be, you're gonna see more and more games come out, and you're not gonna tell the difference. Like when you get something like this, I mean, some things maybe, but like this looks very high polished, you know, it looks really good. You're gonna see that and you're gonna be like, holy crap, like, is it AI? I don't know. And it doesn't matter, because as long as the game plays and like you're enjoying yourself, who cares? Making cutscenes, you know, I mean, that's where we're at right now. You're gonna have a massive game changer here. Unable to reach the server, please check your internet connection and try again. Well, I can guarantee you, I know my internet connection is working fine, but let's see what's going on here. Thorough diagnosis already, confirmed root causes. Pink capsule. Oh, look, it even calls it enemy bokoblin, right? Or bokoblin, depending on where you live at and how you pronounce that word. Still has a leftover child literally named visual using the built-in standard shader. By the way, Nintendo, please don't sue me. I'm literally not naming these characters. I'm letting AI build all this. So I'm just experimenting and seeing what it can do. I'm not naming the assets. I'm not naming the NPCs. So FYI, and I'm not releasing this for sale. I'm just literally experimenting. So Nintendo ninjas, AKA lawyers, please don't sue me. I do not want... I'm just experimenting. This game is not going to be for sale. This game is just to understand what's possible with Unity AI. Yeah, I don't know what the heck happened here. It like lost its ability to do anything. So that's obviously a little bit of a problem here. Like it didn't even continue to... Looks like, I'm gonna just see if it'll pick back up. Looks like you lost connection to the server. Could you can you still see the plan you just made and start working on it? Let's see. Be curious. That's cool. I mean, like, even though it saved at asset plans visual overhaul.md with the remediation section intact. Okay. We'll see what happens. See if it actually does it. And AI is, I think it's in beta, so it's like, it's not even like 100% ready for prime time yet. But very impressive stuff. Confirm the current broken state. Let me apply the structural fixes. Okay. No, that's nice. I mean, at least they got the pink. Oh my gosh, look at that. Wow. Okay. I'm wondering if it wants me to hit stop or if it's gonna hit stop. I guess it wants me to hit stop because it's just still going there. I guess I probably should have left it do its thing. I don't know. Oh man. Yeah, okay. So it looks like when I closed it, it did something where it didn't like that. The AI wasn't very thrilled about that. Yeah, so I think verdict is if you're gonna build something like really small and you're not gonna try and make like something larger, yeah, Unity AI might be able to help you build that thing, right? So a game that comes to mind is a game called Boomerang Fu on the Nintendo Switch. I play that with my kids, and that game, let me just show it off because I want to give a shout out because that's an amazing indie game and it deserves all of the praise in the world. So Boomerang Fu, this game right here. If you have a Nintendo Switch and you don't have this game, you need to buy it right now. Boomerang Fu is an amazing, amazing video game, especially if you have kids, especially if you like multiplayer madness kind of games. It's a brilliantly amazing game. Basically, the premise is you have these characters. You play as like a carrot or a watermelon or a carton of milk, and you have these boomerangs as your weapons, and you just go to town whacking each other with them, and you just have a blast. I mean, there's a hide and seek version where one of you's hiding, or one of you's seeking, the rest of you are hiding. An amazing art. I mean, like the assets in this game are very well done, in my opinion. I don't know how big the team was that made this, but like they did a great job with this game. So, but if you were a solo dev right now, if you're a 1 person, 2 person, or 3 person team, you know, working out of your basement or something, or you know, whatever, it doesn't matter where you're at, like, and you're doing this on the side, I would say something like Unity AI could probably build something like that for you now in 2026. I would say, hey, make a game inspired by these types of games, and then, you know, you need to, you shouldn't just have it like cookie cutter it, because, you know, you're gonna make a game that's somebody's already made, and no one's gonna like that. Like, no one's gonna like that. Okay, well, you just took what Boomerang Fu did, right? And then thanks. Like, I get to play what a worse version of a game that is phenomenal. I'm just gonna go buy Boomerang Fu, you know. So if you're gonna make a game, make it original. And then if you're gonna go ahead and try and use something like AI, like Unity AI, to make your game, then, you know, excuse me, sorry, have it get your prototype ready and then polish it. Just take time. Don't just release the prototype build. take the time and actually make it look good, right? And you can take and make spins on old games. Like plenty of games have done really good spins, like the game Tricky Towers. I'll give another shout out here. Tricky Towers is a great game as well. That's a spin on Tetris, and it's fun. It's very fun. They found a way to make Tetris fun with your friends. So if you've never played Tricky Towers, this is what Tricky Towers looks like. Great art, very well designed. My wife and I love this game. It's a blast. My kids love this game too. It's very fun. And you know, you got like things like pianos, and they come down, and then they got like these vines, and then they make things. They just change the dynamic of the game, right? So if you're gonna use these tools and you're gonna change things, like do things that are gonna better mankind. And I think that you can make some really good stuff. I think you really can. Don't just copy somebody else's idea and just release it and be like, hey, here you go. Here's a repeat of Tetris, because nobody would have liked Tricky Towers if it was just a repeat of Tetris. They took Tetris and they made it fun for 4 players. And even if you play it by yourself, like it's different enough, like with the way that the bricks, the way they fall, and the fact that you're just trying to reach the highest point. And that's the opposite of Tetris, because in Tetris you're never just trying to reach the highest point. In fact, that's what you want to avoid, right? You just want to keep clearing rows and clearing rows, right? So they went for a very different dynamic there. So very cool game. Highly recommend Tricky Towers. Well, I've been streaming for about 33 minutes, and I don't see anything else happening here. I don't think that there's anything else that's going to happen with this one. And this is pretty much, I think, what I wanted to talk about for the Unity AI and what it can do. I think my verdict on this on Unity AI is it's interesting. I think it's going to go places, and I think that in the next couple of years, people who are making games just by themselves, it's going to be, you literally type in a prompt on AI and AI will just make the game for you. I think that's where things are going to be at. And it's going to be really hard, I think, to make money on video games for that reason. Because if anybody can say that they want the next Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, or they want the next Grand Theft Auto, or whatever it is they want, and they go on there and they say, yeah, build me this thing and build it custom, make it for my hometown, use Google Maps to make the assets and everything, and it literally does that, and boom, you have your own custom version of whatever game it is that you dreamed of. I don't know what's going to happen with the game industry, but that's my doomer version of it. Like the glass half full kind of version is, I think that there's still a lot of potential to make money, to make a good playable experiences for people right now with the tools that are available. And I think that the future is looking bright. I think that there's still going to be good opportunity, but there's also potential for things to be bleak. I mean, let's be real, but like, I think that it could, no, I don't have foresight. I can't tell you what's going to happen, but I can tell you that I think that it'll be an interesting thing to see how things change. But I think that Unity AI, this is my final say on this. I don't think Unity AI is ready for prime time yet. It's got a ways to go, but pretty darn impressive, the fact that it literally built all these assets. And like, look at that. Like, that's crazy. Like, that's crazy. And then boom, it just literally, you got your player character, you have an enemy, and yeah. So that's it for tonight. I know it's a short one, but I don't see any reason to keep on dragging it out whenever that's really all I have to say on the matter. In the next video, I will either be going back into doing some more work in Blender and making things with my player character, or I will be working on my rocket ship game, which is not my rocket ship game. It's actually a tutorial from Game Dev TV that I'm following along with. If you shout out to Game Dev TV, I'm not sponsored by them, but they make really good stuff, and their tutorials are very good. So shout out to Game Dev TV. If you are an aspiring game developer, go check out gamedev.tv. I think you'll find that it's good stuff. So, all right. Have a good night, everybody. See you later.